watching the 100 worst movies of all time according to Rotten Tomatoes, so you don't have to. This movie I'm about to talk to you about is not the worst movie I've seen so far, but it maybe hurts the most. It is the 2005 remake of John Carpenter's The Fog. I really love John Carpenter's The Fog. I know it's more of a B-grade title from the director, but the things that you always get from a Carpenter film, even the B-grade ones, is atmosphere. So thick it's like a fog. An incredible score, and some really cool actors, and some fun, campy dialogue. These are the things you're going to get even in something like The Fog that's really a 3.5 out of 5. That may sound like a low score, but wait till we talk about this fucking remake. In the original film, we get Tom Atkins, an icon of horror cinema. We get Adrienne Barbeau, one of the greatest scream queens of all time. What are they replaced with? Tom Welling and Selma Blair. Now, I like Selma Blair, but she's replacing Adrienne Barbeau, who was playing a sultry DJ. Selma Blair's attempt at sultry DJ comes off as just checked out, chemically asleep, or just a little bit fucking weird. So if you don't know, The Fog tells the story of a mysterious fog that rolls into a coastal town, and that fog carries with it the sins of the past, brought back in the form of unaliving ghost pirates. Now that sounds a little weird, but that is a very fun premise. Now in the original Carpenter film, as I said, it's atmospheric. This town feels isolated. It feels like you can't escape the town, let alone the impending doom of the fog. The fog rolls in slow. It is a slow burn type of film, and things are happening in the town, secrets are being revealed, all the while this fog is slowly rolling into town. Now remember, in 1980, that fog was practical. So they were making that fog, and it feels organic, it feels real. You can relate to that fog because it is real fog. So what's inside it? Who's the boogeyman? What are they gonna do? The fog in this fucking movie, in this remake, is ugly, ugly CGI fog, and it moves with intention. It feels like a monster. It feels like a creature in and of itself. It's actually blocked better than the actual fucking actors in the film. In fact, the fog feels like it rehearsed more than these fucking actors. This movie is giving early 2000s CW vibes. As I said, you've got Tom Welling, throw in a little Maggie Grace, and you've got nothing but TV vibes from beginning to end. The story is essentially the same, except now we get a bunch of cheap jump scares that run from the opening of the film to the end of the film, even after the fog is literally snaking down hallways. I expected it to roll up around a doorknob and just open the door at some fucking point. Every additional character in this film doesn't feel like they're building tension. They're adding layers of mystery to the story and building the atmosphere, as is the case in the fucking original. What they feel like are NPCs. Like you're in a role-playing game and you just gotta walk up to them and click a button so they say their 2 lines and walk the fuck away. All right, let's talk about some of my favorite scenes. There's a magical thing that is found, a cursed object that is found, and it is a nod back to the original film. So one of our characters takes this cursed object to a priest. The priest looks at it. He's day drinking, by the way, which is fine. That's also a nod back to the original. He looks at it and he says, "My grandfather warned me about this thing." Like he knows everything about it. Then immediately follows that with, "I can't help you, I'm too busy," even though he's clearly just sitting out in front of the church having a cocktail. It gets worse though. Later in the film, Tom Welling, Maggie Grace, the whole crew is in a truck, and they get caught by the fog. The fog is coming, and you know that fog, it's just gonna come on up, open the door to the truck and probably crank it for them if you want it to, or it could fill the tank with gas because it really is just a blocked character at this point. But anyway, Maggie Grace is behind the wheel. Oh no, she's a girl, she can't crank the truck, she can't drive the truck. So they get out, swap places, Tom Welling gets behind the wheel, cranks it, and drives off. This is bad enough. This is bad enough. But then he immediately fucking wrecks the truck. Maggie Grace is thrown from the truck, but she gets up, not a scratch on her, and then they just move on to the next scene. Okay, so when we finally get to the unalivings, they're all CGI, and they are abrasively bad. And I know I've said this with Mortal Kombat and some of the others that I've watched, it's not just from the era. The studio clearly just didn't give a fuck about this movie. I don't know why they even made it. They had the director of Blank Check making a remake of one of the greatest filmmakers of all time's movie. So I always try to end with something positive, and I can do it in this film a little easier than the previous ones. There is one scene, actually one shot. There is one shot in this film that I think is quite attractive. It's pretty. It looks nice. Problem is, the rest of the film looks like trash, and it's edited like trash also. At the end of the day, it feels like that early 2000s teen horror movie thing. They're just trying to bend it around a Carpenter film, which just doesn't work. There's no way that's ever gonna work. It's watchable if you want to torture yourself, but it's not good. I feel personally attacked because they're remaking a filmmaker that I really love. But I'm gonna put that bias aside to give you an honest score. I'm gonna give this film a fucking